Hello everybody, welcome back to Enes Cake Tips. Thanks for joining me again. Today I'm going to talk about things a little bit private. If I stay in front of an ice cream shop and I'm looking for ice creams to choose, I always go for a rum raisin ice cream first. And if I'm in a chocolate shop and I have so many variations in front of me also, my eyes always looking for those red metallic foil wrap chocolate balls and hoping that in each chocolate there is one marinated cherry. So also when I was working in Germany, every time I went to refill to my car at the petrol station, I always get one box of Monterey chocolate and I finish the half of the box before I arrive home. Actually, my love affair with cherry chocolates starts from my childhood. I remember my grandmother's glass cabinet in the guest room where she used to keep all those crystal and silverware. One of those silver balls in the middle was always filled with those handmade red foil wrapped cherry chocolates, only for important guests. I knew where the key was and I was always stealing one chocolate a day. And I was hoping that she doesn't realize it, but wasn't the case. Keep the story short, my birthday is coming in a few days and I would like to spoil myself with a birthday cake. Guess what I'm going to do? Chocolate mud cake, layered with the creme chantilly and brandy cherries. I'm sorry that I cannot share this cake with you for tasting, but at least I will share the method with you, so if you like it, you can do it yourself. Let me go through with you what I need to achieve this cake. So basically we will have four components. One is the sponge, another one is the cream, and additions and decorations. So as a sponge, I'm going to use one dark chocolate mud cake. The recipe is available in yenesway.com, so anybody can go and get it. So if you make a free membership, even I think you will get more things from there. So what is it? Normally I would use the soft sponge, but I liked the chocolate mud cake because of the texture. It's quite firm, and then because we're using soft cream, so that chocolate mud cake will keep the shape quite nicely. So I'm going to slice the sponge in different heights. I will use a bit thicker one at the base and slightly thinner ones on the top. All right. So that's the sponge. As a cream, I'm going to use creme chantilly. Creme chantilly means fresh cream, whipped into the certain consistency, not just over whipping into butter, of course. And I will have a little bit of sugar and vanilla. So vanilla is here. All right. So that makes already creme chantilly, but I will also add a little bit of gelatin inside to make the cream a little bit more firmer, a bit more consistency, because the fresh whipped cream inside the sponge is always after sometimes get dry because the moisture is absorbed by the sponge and then the cream becomes a little bit dry. So that gelatin will make the cream a little bit more stable and a bit more firmer and also avoid that dryness. And also, of course, nice to cut with a bit of gelatin. We're going to use here more our senses to decide how much to do what, but something that you have to measure. So the gelatin inside the cream is important. So I will not exceed 10 grams for each kilo. So there's about 6 gram gelatin powder over here for 600 grams. So I will put a little bit of water inside and then put a bit of cream inside, and I'm going to show you how to add it in without getting lumps inside. All right. So as an addition, we will have cherries. I use beautiful frozen cherries. I always get it from the supermarket. It comes in about 500 gram packaging, and then I take it out. There's no pits inside, and after that I defrosting over a sort of like a sort of sieve that the juice comes underneath. I will not waste this juice. I will also use it, of course, by adding some modified starch. So what is modified starch? Modified starch is an instant thickener. So how they do that, I'm guessing that is like a processed starch and then repowderized again. So I think, I'm not so sure exactly how they manufacture, but processed means like you bring the gelatinization to the starch, and after that you need a heat normally. You take a starch and mix it with the water, and then you boil it. By mixing, it becomes a thicker and creamier, right? So that is actually using sort of like you can add more things inside to make it like a, I don't know, you can make it like a pudding or something with that, all right? But with this one, you don't need to have reheating. If you introduce the liquid inside, it suddenly right away thickens the things. So I have always in my kitchen this. It's very practical if you want to do quick sauces and quick stubble, some cream or something like that. It's always available. And if you be careful and look at these fondant ingredients on the store-bought fondant, there's always one of the major ingredients is modified starch. So that is also quite useful for that purpose. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, there's the modified starch. When you're putting directly into the liquid, it may get some lumps. All right. So what I do, I'll mix a little bit of sugar inside, but it's just normal crystal sugar inside. So that already homogenized the powder when it arrived to the liquid, so it doesn't lump. At the same time, flavor, a bit sweetness into that things what we're using. So I also add a little bit of lemon juice. This is not a lime. This is a Mayer's lemon, which I have it from my garden. So I'm going to use this one also in there. What else as a decoration? So this is we're talking about sponge and the cream addition, and then also decoration wise, we're going to use only chocolate. But I'm going to show you a very tricky stuff. You know, I'm gonna show you how to make a chocolate shards very, very easy way. All right. So and also moisturizing with the sort of syrup. This syrup has only sugar and lemon juice and a little bit of brandy inside. So talking about brandy, that brandy goes into syrup and then sort of moisturizing the sponge. I will also put, of course, inside the cherry, so make it like a brandy cherries somehow. I'm not marinating it, but I'm just going to go good flavors into it. And brandy, whiskey, cognac, or what do you call rum, you can use it for, they all end up in the same kind of direction. All right. So that is all. As equipment, I have 2 whisks here, a palette knife and a knife to cut the sponge, and cellophane sheets to make the chocolate shards. You will see that soon. All right. So let's start from thickening the cherries first, because I don't want to whip the cream because of gelatin we added inside. As soon as we add gelatin inside, we have to use it right away. We can't just store it in the fridge and take it out because it will be just like impossible to spread. So I'm going to start from the cherries thickening with the modified starch first. Okay, let's put the cherries here. This is done. Over here. And we put a little bit of sugar on top. Just 1 spoon. Okay. We put a little bit of vanilla. Vanilla we can put actually inside the liquid. You can use, if you like, the extract, vanilla extract. And lemon juice, not much, and the brandy. You think that I'm going to use the whole bottle, but I'm not, just a little bit, all right? That's enough. Right, mix this one first. Smells very good. That's it. Now, thicken this one. We already add the vanilla. Whisk. That's it. We're gonna just deal with our senses, that we're gonna put it on and see the texture, and we decide where to stop. All right. This is modified starch and sugar mixture. I can feel already getting thicker. That's not bad. You have to wait for a while because the starch reacts after a few minutes. So it's already thicker. But having said that, there's enough liquid also here. It will soften up again. So I'm going to make a little bit more thicker. to make sure that when everything mixed together, it becomes a nice texture. So that's already good. All right. If you don't have this modified starch, you can use normal starch. You can just put this on the stove and then thicken with about let's say 40 grams starch will be good for 1 liter of liquid. So you calculate accordingly and cool it down and mix it with cherries. Okay, let's put everything in. So we use that liquid at the same time, so we don't waste anything. At the same time, it gives a nice texture together. Look. If you have the cherries too soft, you can use sort of like a rubber scraper like this, not to sort of damage the cherries much. Okay, I'll leave it like this. I will mix it again when the time that I'm just putting inside the cake. All right. Now what we have to do, we're going to cut the mud cake. I'm going to cut this cake into 3 slices. So the first one from the top and fairly thin. First one is fairly thin. This will come on the top of the cake. All right. Okay. This will go here. Doesn't matter all those things because it all stays under the cream. All right. Now this one will be turned around. I'm going to cut the second thickest sponge from the top of it. That crust here, it's like this bottom side of the sponge. It will also go inside the cake. Okay, so that will be the first layer underneath. It's quite thick one, as you see, and then this one will become after that, and then thinner one on the top. We're going to do the creme chantilly now. So I have 600 grams of thickened cream here. Everybody asking what's thickened cream. Thickened cream is just a bit additional of gum inside the fresh cream. So it makes it slightly thicker, just to make it so that people can just pour it on the food without whipping. But we're gonna whip it. The result is still the same with like a fresh cream. All right, that's already good. 600 grams should be already good enough. And we're gonna put about 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1 and 2 should be enough. And touch of vanilla. So this makes creme chantilly, but we're gonna add also some gelatin inside. All right, we're gonna start whipping it. It will take about 3 minutes. Just turn the bowl slightly and then constantly whipping. You can change your direction if you like this, if you get tired. You can also use the hand mixer, but I just prefer at the moment by hand so you have a better control when you stop whipping. Once the cream gets a little bit sloppy like this, that's the time you prepare your gelatin. So you add a little bit of water inside the gelatin. Don't put too much, otherwise it will be too much liquid you're adding into the cream. Just to make it moisture, that's all. Okay. Once the gelatin becomes wet like this, already good enough. Right? And we're going to put this inside the microwave. Make sure melt it, but not get very hot, because hot is not good for this. Can get very quickly split if you put too hot things inside. Let's see. Yeah, it's already melted. Make sure it's completely melted. There's no dots on it. Okay, now what I like to do, I'm going to put a few spoons of cream inside here. Mix again. Make sure this one is nice and smooth. Just lukewarm, not too hot. Okay. That is ready. Continue whipping this. That's already good. Then you add this one in right away and fold it nicely like this. Make sure you're not over whipping. All right. That's nice. All right. Now it's time to sandwich the cake. All right. We have the first layer sponge here. I already put a bit syrup. I'm just going to put a little bit more. All right. Okay, now spoon will do. Okay. Now I'm going to put one indentation here like this. Okay, like that. And a second one here. Make sure that center part still cream. Mix a little bit more. Put cherries here. That's great. Then we put the next sponge on top. I'm going to try to make it like a bit dome shape. Okay, just like this. Go back to syrup. I will keep this much cream for the top. This time I'm going to do one ring. Okay. I will also keep this much cherry for the top. Okay. Then we put the last sponge on top. That's a bit pieces, but doesn't matter. It will do the job. That shows that how nice the sponge is, nice and moist. All right. That is there. Then I'm going to go back to syrup. Okay, now give a bit of like crumb coat around here. Bit of shaping. That's beautiful. Okay. Then put the rest of the cream on top. That's already good. Okay. Now, what I like to do, something quite interesting. I'm going to take a cling wrap, put it on top. This one goes in the fridge for at least a couple of hours. Let's say about 2 hours. Then I'll be back to the clean table and start decorating the cake. In the meantime, let's get ready for the chocolate shards. So my idea is to make a sort of like rolling and spreading chocolate without touching the chocolate, and also creating sort of like a natural shine on it. All right. So therefore, I use 2 cellophane sheets. Let's get one on the side first. All right. And then take some chocolate. I melt this chocolate in the microwave. It's always good that when you're melting chocolate in the microwave, you're melting sort of like almost 3/4. So make sure that when you take it out from the microwave, there is some chocolate still not melted. So continue mixing, that the hot chocolate or warm chocolate will continue to melt the unmelted chocolate. It will be nicer or better condition. All right? Especially for compound chocolate, this is kind of valid method. All right. So I pour some chocolate over here. This much. Right. Okay. Then take the second cellophane sheet and placing on it. All right. Then you use this one. Roll it like that. And roll it like that. Okay. Then in the center, go this side, and go this side, and here, and here. So in the meantime, you can just go manipulation a little bit, like getting a little bit better shape, so everywhere is more evenly. Right? You can actually create really, really thin chocolate shards with that. Right? Okay. Okay. Interesting, isn't it? That's it. I have no chocolate in my hand other than I use my finger to clean the sides, so that's all. Okay. Then what I do, I want to put this in the fridge, but it's too big. Just cut in the middle, like that, and placing there. Next one on top. This one goes in the fridge. So this is the cake. It is almost 2 hours past, and a few minutes ago I take it out of the fridge, and then I had a little bit of left cream inside the bowl from this creme chantilly, and I remove first and I put it again back again just to shape it, and then I take it out again. So that is nice, firm enough. At the same time, that additional cream that I put newly, it makes it a little bit more sticky. So that's already good. All right. So let's clean this side a little bit. That's it. When everything is finished, we're going to remove that plastic sheet. So that is the remaining brandy cherries, which I did previously. So I just place this one in the middle. All right. Just nice and carefully. Try to keep it as a kind of little round shape. All right. Let's bring now the chocolate. It's already last 10 minutes in the fridge, and try cutting this nice shards that we can start already putting on it. So it is ready. Make sure it's nice and cold, so when you remove that cellophane sheet, it comes out clean. So when it comes out like as clean as possible, that means you have an absolute shine on it, right? If it's not cold enough, that cellophane sheet will tearing the skin of chocolate. It's not going to be shiny, all right? At this stage, what you can do, if you want to make a particular shapes like squares or rectangles, you just have to make like a little line like this, all right? And after that, you can break it. You can just break it from that particular point, however you like. You know, it just come out like this. You see that you can break it, all right? You can just cut like this, make a little line. Not cut, just mark it, and it breaks, all right? So you can make different shapes if you like, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do like just odd shapes. All right. Turn around. Remove this one too. All right. I'm going to start from this area, and I'm going to photo 3 lines. Okay. So just cut like that. One piece at a time. Something like that. It's very, very thin. So that's the first layer. As you realize that I'm putting like this way, all right? Next one I'm going to do the other way around. Okay, let's do the last one. This time I'm going to go a little bit more sort of like larger pieces. At this stage, you can leave it like this, as I will do. I will just leave it like this. You can also put a bit of icing sugar around, a bit of cocoa powder around, or you can just take the remaining chocolate and put some line on it. It is interesting. I will just leave it like this. So the place that's in the middle, like you see the shiny cherries on top, it looks like everything, it looks like that texture goes all the way around. So there's just the illusion, all right? Okay, let's remove that first. Just remove the sides so it's not in your way. All right, then I use my scissor. Just go as close as possible to the edge, as close as possible, and drag my scissor on the side by just leaving about 1 to 2 centimeters away from the cake. All right? So my version of chocolate cream cake with cognac or brandy marinated cherries is now finished, and I can't wait to have a nice big slice from this cake. I hope you enjoyed this unusual video. Normally I produce videos more on the novelty cake decorations, so if you like this kind of content, I would like to hear your thoughts from you. So that is all from me, guys, today. I wish you all the best, and to myself a happy birthday, and thank you so much for being with me today. God bless, be good, and see you on my next video. Bye for now.